Welcome to the Health and Happiness Show. As many of you know, I, Janet Hawkins, doctor and naturopath, I am hosting the Health and Happiness Show. And I've been doing it for quite some time. And here we are into the holidays. So I hope everyone is getting prepared for the holidays. And just remember, during this Christmas season, one of the nicest things you can do is give the gift of health. So during the, also just before we move on to our subject of working through the holidays, I do a newsletter every month. And this month it is on sleeping and how important sleeping is to us. And there's different supplements that we can take as well for sleeping. And I know I personally take magnesium, which is excellent for sleeping. 60 to 80% of the population is very deficient in magnesium. It has so many benefits. It can relax your body. It also can go in and lower the blood pressure a little bit as well. So how many do you take is what you're probably asking. There's 100 milligrams in each capsule on the one I take, magnesium complex. And I take 3 to 4 before I go to bed. One thing you have to remember, if you take the magnesium, if you get diarrhea, you've taken too much. So, take your body weight if you like 120, 130. I would do 1 or 2. Listen to your body. It's talking to you. So all you have to do is listen and do this for 2 or 3 days. If you're not getting enough rest, then increase it by 1. I know some people take 5,000 milligrams. And to me that's a lot. Maybe it was 500 they were taking, and I thought that was quite a bit. So everybody is different. So that is another suggestion here. But in the newsletter we have different ones we can take. A lot of times I'll take a little bit of valerian root with it, which is a nervine to relax your body as well. And then there's also some essential oils that are choices as well. Maybe putting some lavender on your feet as well. And I'm just saying those are nice little supplements for a Christmas gift as well. So we do a newsletter every month, and when clients come in, I have a new client coming in tomorrow, she'll have a newsletter as well. So that's what we do there. And so now we are going to talk about the holiday habits. So we know many times during the holidays, with all the different functions, such as we have foods, we have desserts, and we have the alcohol, and our body is bombarded. And then we also have turkey, dressing, gravy, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, all of the good things. But I'm not saying we have to give up that diet, but what we have to do is eat slowly. I know I just got Dr. Brownstein's newsletter, which I get one from him every month as well. He is a medical doctor, but holistic, out of Michigan. And he was talking about GERD, where he had a client with that. And that's where he had a lot of digestive issues. And the gentleman started to eating slower and drinking more water. And it was working without taking prescription to go in and mask and calm things down. Same way with acid reflux. It's the same type of thing. You eat smaller meals, just like if it's for the holidays, just eat smaller amounts and listen to your body. It's talking to you as well. So a lot of times if we eat too many sugars and things of that sort, and the alcohol, that can trigger, say, ooh, we've got a little bit of a problem here. So whenever we're having some digestive issues, there's a couple things that I like to go to. And I always have the papaya mints out. If you're having an upset stomach or any digestive issues, you can take these and chew them. And the papaya will calm everything down. And that is one choice you can do, because I always have a bottle open. I know I have to be very careful with chili or something spicy. So everybody is different. Like I said, listen to your body. It's talking to you. So the papaya mints is nice to have on hand to calm it down. Or we also have stomach comfort. And so I would muscle test you or just use each of those and see which one works best for you. They're totally different combinations. And of course, both of those, you chew them. They're a natural anti-acid rather than the Nexium that you buy over the counter. So the papaya is just a papaya. And then with the stomach comfort, I believe we have some slippery elm as well. And then we also have, slippery elm, helps with constipation or diarrhea. A little bit of licorice root as well, and also has papaya in it as well. So this is a combination of them. And I have both of them, but I usually tend to go towards the papaya. So those are choices for digestive issues during the holiday time. And then another choice we have too is what we have to understand. After the age of 50, we have a reduced amount of enzymes. And so a lot of times when I'm working with a client and they're having digestive issues, I will ask them, say in the morning you have a little bit of yogurt with some fruit, no problem. But then if we have something heavy, like in the afternoon, if we have a steak and mashed potatoes and gravy and all that good stuff, which is all broken down, because if you cook anything over 118 degrees, it kills the enzyme. Plus with your age, not producing the enzymes as well. That's where we go to Gut Restore, and that's a natural enzyme. And you take 1 or 2 of those before you go to start eating a meal, or you can take it even in the middle of the meal if you choose. So that are choices as well. Say if I have a client coming in at 70, say 72 years old versus a 32-year-old, I would definitely consider the Gut Restore, because we know they're not producing as much of an enzyme as a 32-year-old. So, that's a good way to break it down for yourself, okay? So that's some things to take care of if we're having some digestive issues. Now, also, one thing we have to remember too, with the time change, and it's dark at 5:30 now. Some days we have some sun, but it's inside and we're looking out. So what we have to do is consider some D3. D3 is going to go in and help your immune system. It's going to help your heart, and then it's also going to help your bones. So I'm giving you some ideas to give the gift of health for Christmas. Everybody needs D3. And if you have someone that's having difficulty sleeping, maybe give them some magnesium. Maybe your father-in-law is having some problems with his digestion. Something like this might be very helpful. And they're all going to say, I don't know how to use this. So whenever you contact me and you decide you want to buy a supplement, I will give you a physical printout on that so you can present that with the gift so they understand how it works. And plus, you always have access to texting me or calling me, and I will support you through that as well. So it's not like ordering on Amazon or online. I am here, physical person, to give you an answer. Being a doctor naturopath, I think it's so important that you understand what you're doing and why. This is God's medicine. These are plants. So also, now we have a lot of times during the holidays right now, people might be traveling. And you've heard me say this before, anytime I travel, I always take Silver Shield with me. If it may, because it's on an airplane flight, I go every August out to Las Vegas. It's a 4-hour direct flight, one way. As soon as I get there, I start drinking this. You do not have to delete it, nothing. Children can take it. There's really no taste to it. You can put it in your eyes if you're having dry eyes, up your nose for sinus issues. So always have this if you're traveling. Maybe the parents or the relatives live in Indiana and they're flying in, driving in, whatever. Still have the Silver Shield along, just so you have something there, rather than saying, oh, I don't feeling well. So I'm just giving you those choices as well. And then a couple other things before we go on to our discussion. We have the ear candles, which are great for stocking stuffers. And what you remember, we had done a demonstration with my Dean, my grandson, this last summer on doing a demonstration on the ear candles. And plus, I have the direction sheet with it as well. So it goes in and creates, you put it in the ear, of course, and you light it at this end, and it creates a vacuum. And you can actually hear so much better. So these are great stocking stuffers as well. And yes, my grandkids and some of the kids will be getting some ear candles for Christmas as well. So I'm just sharing with you. And then one other thing that I think is so important, and this is on my cell phone. We get bombarded with so much radiation from our phone, the computer. I mean, it's just all over technology today. So I have these little cell shields, and you put them on the back of your phone. And they're good for like 3 years. So I always put my phone on speakerphone when I'm talking anyway, but I still like double protection. So these are a nice little gift as well, if you're considering that. And I know I was introduced to these, and it produces up to 90% of the radiation reduction, and it's good for 3 years. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then we also have the earthing pillow covers. And these are where you put the covers over your pillow, and this helps you sleep. Because we have cold weather, it's very hard to go out and walk in your bare feet in the grass. So you plug this in, and I've been using it for like 2.5 years, and it really helps the body relax and cope with life in general. So I'm just giving you some different ideas for health is wealth, and you may have some family that you have no idea what to get them, and that's like for me. I'm considering giving each of my children some oranges flown in from Florida. It'll be delivered to them probably in January or February, the honey bells, and they are excellent. And I would rather give them something like that will be good vitamin C for them, because vitamin C we have to get from food. So that's so important as well, because it's going to go in and help with the acidity as well. And one thing for sure, we can't forget the liquid chlorophyll. Liquid chlorophyll is awesome. I have to keep it at the Super Women's Center, the gym that I go to, because the ladies like it so well. So what we do is we just take it, and it's supposed to be a tablespoon in your water, and we're just going to add a little bit right here. Would you like some as well, Miss Karen? Chlorophyll?
Oh, sure.
Okay. I didn't bring a little.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Delicious.
Yeah. I can't see it's coming out.
Okay.
Whoops. You got your tablespoon.
Yeah, there we go.
Good, good.
Mm-hmm. Always got a jar at home, Janet.
Yep, I mean, it's fantastic. And what it does is, the thing that's so important is, it's going to go in and clean you up. We are exposed to toxins morning, noon, and night from our food, from the air, the water. We're just bombarded with it 24/7. And this is so great because all you do is add it to your water. How much water should you drink? You take your weight, divide it by half. That's how many ounces of water you drink a day. And it's good quality water. We don't want the chemical cocktail coming out of the faucet. So you've got to be your CEO, and we can't protect ourselves totally. We're always going to be exposed to toxins, but you can do a lot of it on your own by keeping the immune system strong, doing the Dirty Dozen list, which we'll go over that next month on the Dirty Dozen list, and the Yucca app as well. So just remember, health is wealth, and I feel as though it's a good opportunity at the holiday time to give that gift of health. And then also, if you tend to be a snacker, I like the aloe bars. They're all protein bars. There's no sugar. And my kids will be getting some of those in their stocking stuffers as well, because it's always nice to have something that's non-GMO as well, or organic, and these are great as well. So I'm just giving you some little tips on what to do. And don't forget the grandkids. We need the elderberry defense. These are chewable, and they are so good. I mean, I actually have a container at home, and when Dean comes over, hey, I need a couple elderberries. So he has 2 or 3. So they taste like good, healthy M&Ms for your immune system as well. So that's some ideas on gift of health, and being so grateful that we have those opportunities available. Now I would like to introduce our guest this evening. It's Karen Snyder. Thank you, Karen, for taking the time. I know it was quite a travel for you to come, but we're so honored to have her here to share all of her information on the gemstones, like crystals, different things like that. So how did you get started in this, Karen?
Oh, I always liked them, but when I got involved about 25 years ago with Hildegard von Bingen and her use of it, and she's Germany's first doctor, this was just quite a journey.
Right, so you studied with her.
Well, it's about 900 years old, her medieval system.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, she's considered in the United States quite a different view for medicine and health and wealth and everything.
That's awesome. Well, in Germany is pretty much way ahead of the game as far as holistic approach. Am I correct?
Yes, most of Germany, as far as I understood years ago, they just use much of her medical system.
Right, right. Okay, good, very good. Okay, so I'll let you proceed on and move on.
Okay, thanks, Janet.
No worries.
Yeah, the good introduction.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, welcome to Hildegard von Bingen's Mineralogy. I'm going to take the ancient use, bring it into today's modern science, and it's mostly back in the medieval days called the Mineral Kingdom. Dr. Wigard Strelo of the Hildegard Clinic in Germany authored various Hildegard books, and one in detail did her works on the basic cardinal directions, vices, virtues, and the 4 elements, the key to healing through the gems and crystals. This is what I base the mineralogy works on and everything that I do. The referencing to the modern science, which ties it all together, is mostly from the author Greg Braden and Guru Das. The minerals attributed to her collection were given to me over 20 years ago by the Hildegard mineralogist Frances Flynn and her husband Trafford Flynn. They translated her German book, which was published by the Kristall Museum in Rheinberg, Germany in 1995. That's posted at my website, and I have complete permission to do so. And another note, this style talk has been presented nationally over 15 years ago at the Hildegard conventions, and the 4 years I represented the National Hildegard Society at Michigan State University for their week-long International Medieval Convention. And then I was also asked to be the keynote speaker at Hildegard's 25th National celebration to be in the United States with the Society. That was probably about 10 to 15 years ago. Just real quick, who is Hildegard von Bingen? She lived 1098 to 1179, considered Germany's first doctor and mystic, who wrote profusely as a prophet, poet, dramatist, musician, physician, and political moralist. At age 6, she began to have visions that continued for the rest of her life. As an adult, she wrote volumes from 1141 to 1151. Skivas, the Book of Rewards of Life, the Book of Divine Works of a Simple Man, and besides these 3 mystical books, she wrote a physical treatise entitled Physica, which contains the mineralogy, animals, creatures, medicine, but her big medical book was called Causes and Cures. On October 7th, 2012, she was officially canonized by the first German Pope as the 4th woman doctor of the Church. In September 2010, the same one, Pope Benedict, extolled Hildegard von Bingen, being a 12th century mystic, and exampled women to exercise the true spiritual gifts. Because her point in the medieval times, they nicknamed her the Teutonic Prophetess. So now getting on to Hildegard and mineralogy. She's known for her golden topaz prayer, and I have been told in the past few years that the golden topaz crystal is known today as the golden healer. Although the name is changed, no one but Hildegard reveals such power and reverence and uniqueness within the stone. The visions on her mineral formations match today's scientific standards, yet her explanations were quite simple according to the basic elements themselves and within the lunar and solar cycles. Her detailed methods to heal with stones are unlike any other historical description. She had a high regard for vices and virtues and the value according to the human spine. From her visions, the spine was assigned these vices and virtues and how to heal them with gemstones. She divides the relationship to the spine into sections with a correlation to a particular gemstone. She stated that weaknesses are opportunities to see the transforming power behind them, leading to wisdom. Hence, a vice is present, there's a chance to heal it with a virtue. Here's a real quick short explanation. She called it the East Man, which is our head to shoulder. She says the cosmic man faces east to the rising sun with 7 strong forces emerging with the sunrise, including the virtues: heavenly love, discipline, respect, friendship, compassion, victory, patience, and peace of mind. The next is the West Man, our shoulder to hip. The cosmic man faces the west, symbolizing the torso. Virtuous acts are abstinence, generosity, devotion, truth, peace, blessedness, discretion, and the saved soul. The Northman is described hip to knee, learning the 7 childhood virtues: humility, charity, respect for God, obedience, faith, hope, and chastity. The Southman is the knee to the feet, where man stands in the richness of the earth energy, which is virditas, and in Latin that means the greenness of all that life needs in order to live, so it can be full to itself. The vices known as imperfection must die away or wither, otherwise they destroy life. And the feet are in 2 parts. Rise to new elders, the art of changing the misery and weakness of the elderly into strength and wisdom. The cosmic spirituality for reverence for all life commands respect for the relationship in the physical world, especially with the aging. Part 2, supreme all-around man. Hildegard describes Jesus turning in the universe around and around to inspect the 4 corners and directions. His feet are established in the sea of life. Our feet carry the body in a marvelous manner engineered by God. So how can the balance from 2 small structures such as feet endure everything that the human body rests upon them? Quoting Hildegard, man himself suppresses the force of the world's elements found above the earth, on the earth, and under the earth, just with his feet.
So what you're saying is, you're giving us the background on Hilda, okay? And this is what philosophy you use. Like if I come to you and I want to buy a stone, so how do you determine which one I need?
Well, there's a whole other paperwork for that, and sometimes people give me their spine, what's wrong with the different vertebrae, and we go from there.
Okay, okay. So how many different stones do you carry?
Oh, there's a whole bunch.
Okay.
I can't even count them.
Okay. What are the most popular stones that you find that are very supportive for people?
Probably the red jasper, which I don't have. Definitely the amethyst, and we have I have on a large blue chalcedony.
Okay.
Which was very big. She had everybody take it for anger.
Okay.
And it doesn't suppress it. It just helps you cope with it, and then you'll see the scientific part of it.
Well, that would be very helpful in today's world.
It sure is,
everybody. It
Janet.
needs to be on our keychain, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Stuffed in your pockets.
Right. Well, because I know doing the holistic psychic shows, there's all types of stones, and I have no idea what they're for. You know, which one do I need for me? I think is so important.
Yeah, it depends upon what book you're reading, what book they got it from, how modern it is, what twists they put on it. I stick with very, very, very traditional books, very traditional TCM, very traditional Ayurvedic, very traditional Hildegard. Hildegard hasn't been modernized like all the other ones with the Western world. The Western world has modernized a lot of the ancient systems.
Well, no, I understand because I studied with Dr. Jensen back in the 90s, and he was the father of iridology. And now there's a little more deeper things going into the emotionals and things of that sort, rather than with him, we keep it basics, and I kind of like that.
And we wrap that up in this.
Right, exactly.
Bring it to the modern science.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay. Ancient healing with gems and crystals. Hildegard the mineralogist was lesser known for the aspect of gems and crystals that interest people today to heal the vibrational structure surrounding the physical body called subtle anatomies. In healing the vibrations within the multidimensional structure, we also ease the disturbances within the soul and the physical body as it repairs diseases and illnesses. It's not surprising her interest and enduring healing qualities she bestowed in her writings are now credited within the scientific community, raising awareness to the properties of the phenomena of gems and crystals. Gems and crystals foster feelings to actualize thoughts and emotions. According to Hildegard, the value of opposites in stones come about with the fall of Lucifer and the once glorified angels, now known as demons, taken from her spiritual writings in parts. God adorned the angels in precious stones as their brilliance was seen within the mirror of divinity. Lucifer took the knowledge from them and recognized God wished to do many wonderful things, and one was to be shared with mankind, a lesser quality than himself. With that, Lucifer became exalted with arrogant pride in the beauty that he was covered in with these stones. So God's most glorified angel, Lucifer, was the only angel adorned with every gemstone known or unknown currently to mankind. In choosing to become a negative force, he and his minions were stripped of the precious stones, and these stones were cast down through a delicate realm between heaven and earth, deep into the earth. As a result, Lucifer and his minions were never to be adorned with them, but the remainder of the angels in heavens retained the positive force of the particular stones assigned to them, and that's a whole nother book for the 9 choirs. They have all assigned stones, and it's very beautiful. So she continues to write, after the fall, God restored Adam, and God neither gave the beauty nor the power to the precious stones, but he willed that they would be held in honor to bless the earth and be used for man's medicine. These stones became medicinal in all aspects, including the release from many practices in the battle of vices and virtues known as spiritual warfare. Quoting Hildegard on her use of the diamond, it has the greatest virtue because it resists the devil's power by day and by night. And I do have the Herkimer diamond over here. These are originals from the original New York Herkimer diamond mine. They're older stones.
Nice.
But I do have a, how do you want to say it, a source that he still has them. So I have about 15 left from the original mine. I'd have to still see. He was into gemstones many, many, many years ago. 40 years ago.
Well, that's the thing is, working with you, you know, it's genuine and it's real.
Right.
There's so much out there today. How do you know?
Yeah, they have these little blue lights and things, and I've just dealt with so many people for over 30 years that they know what they're dealing with.
Right, you're like me. I know, like I carry pure herbs, which
Yes,
are
you
liquid
do.
herbs, Nature Sunshine. I do have some off-brands like BP from going to the Natural Path Conference every year and pick up a few different things. But you have to be very careful in today's world, so we know it's genuine.
Right.
And I really feel as though those stones carry energy and can help the weak areas, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Combination of,
Oh,
there's so
yeah.
many different things in the holistic field. There's the stones, there's reflexology, there's acupuncture, there's iridology. There's just so much out there. But you have to find what works for you. And I know when I lost my husband, my friend Vanette gave me the rose stone. And that's to help the heart.
The rose quartz, yes.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a very powerful healing. I
Right.
have a giant one
Okay.
that I got from my mineral works up in Michigan 30 years ago. I put it at the bottom of my feet when I really feel rough.
Okay, because she gave me several. So I have one in the car, and I think there's one in the kitchen. So just
Yeah, I wrap those stones too, and then I have like the older medieval meanings to these type of things.
yeah. So and then whenever you work with a client, do you give them resource material to support what they're doing and why? I
Yep.
think that's important.
That's one of the biggest things at the very few shows or when I sell at the studio that I will give the contact information for. I do give, and they're like, I buy a stone somewhere else. And the one lady pulled out all these stones and she said, I don't even know what these are for. And I went,
Oh, yeah, see, that bothers me, yeah. Because I mean, like, if it's a stone or if it's like Stress J, you want to know what's in it, what's for.
Right.
Right.
Definitely. It's almost like a little label. And when they if they got the Herkimer diamond, that's why I left my little labels, because maybe they can stop a shot and the person can read it, you know, off of the TV.
So how are the prices of these, just to give us an idea? Are they pricey or?
Some of them can be. If I get it at a good price, I sell it at a good price, because I've had people go, is that real? And I'm like, yes, I'm passing it. I'm not a price gouger.
Right,
you know me.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I want them to own it. I don't want them to think, you know, you want them to heal.
Correct, absolutely.
So, yeah, and I have worked with a lot of people that I buy the stones from to wrap, and they work with me.
Nice.
They're into the healing end of it too.
Right, exactly.
And I mean, we're all in to make some money, but the biggest part is the healing. The money comes.
What you give comes back.
True.
It's called gratitude and being helpful and being there.
Oh, I love the word gratitude. You're going to see how you just tied right into that with your heartfelt gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll continue, okay. Also in Hildegard's writings, she described the useful effects in the manner that the vices and virtues engage with mankind, since these precious stones contain many powers, but only for good, not for evil deeds. The medicinal qualities that minerals possess enhance all energy channels carrying the same quality from the time they were formed. In the same fashion, this reasons why stones cannot be used for evil. And that's a big hullabaloo, especially today and the day I grew up in.
Right.
But only for good that they were intended for. Mineralogy and healing. Quoting Hildegard, all things that stand in God's order correspond with one another. The stars sparkle from the light of the moon, and the moon shines from the fire of the sun. Everything serves a higher purpose, and nothing exceeds in measure. This is my version of it. Watching the sun and moon rise with an unknown power. Watching the stars twinkle in the sky like gemstones. Watching the planets move in the celestial body as if they were talking to each other begins to form, quote unquote, something. This type of space between all of this is connected to the depths of the earth. What is the space that seems empty? The space is actually a matrix of wonders that holds a phenomena of photons belonging and relating to the four basic elements of earth, fire, wind, and water. The four basic elements also contain and are represented by oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, and carbon. Just because you cannot see these or the elements doesn't mean they don't exist. Likewise, the space forming something and creating a visual perception or an energetic composition to create something. These elements are within every moment, within every movement of energy. This also exists within the gems and crystals, yet we don't see it. Something is always within a space even when nothing seems to exist, called vibration. For example, subtle energy channels allow energy to pass through the physical body that run along the central nervous system. Gemstones influence a person with a heightened quality upon the skin surface by stimulating the subtle anatomies through these energy channels. Something is there but doesn't seem to exist. Scientists today cannot find the existence of these subtle energy channels, but they cannot deny the healing power of them. This is very, very interesting, this next part. The Russian scientist Vladimir Poponin did an intuitive experiment with what seemed to be empty space and non-existence. Here's what he found. He basically took a glass tube, vacuumed out all the air, yet photons, which are units of light that can be measured, remained in the tube randomly scattered. The next time he did the experiment, he inserted a swab of human DNA from the mouth and did the same thing. But this time that quote-unquote something amazing happened. The photons aligned with the human DNA. Something even more amazing happened when he took out the DNA. The photons remained aligned as if the DNA was still in the glass tube. This experiment suggests that mankind has a direct relation to light and the elements. Quoting Hildegard, the soul contains a fiery substance, which is why we are warm-blooded creatures. With this energy, the soul sustains the human entire organisms that give life to the body. This fiery substance is now known today as biophoton energy. And that's why that experiment tied in so wonderful with what I'm going to finish
Nice.
excitingly talk about, because I love all of this.
Yeah.
Likewise, something is always within a space even when nothing seems to exist. Elements, when combined in any process, form compounds, and these are in relation to heal the subtle anatomies as well as the physical body. In the same fashion, gems and crystals are energy formations that are quite powerful, since they work on a vibrational and physical level at the same time. Therefore, human DNA feels the vibrational field and the physical field at the cellular level to heal. While gemstones do have a direct influence on the physical body, the main course of action is impacted on the energy life force itself, or what's called the subtle bodies. Mankind cannot direct it to one particular biological humor because we're made of all the basic elements. Ayurvedic medicine has 3, traditional Chinese consists of 5, and Hildegard has 4, and she refers to them as humors. They all correspond to pattern and energy in order to balance the intrinsic elements, or these humors, within mankind. In addition, these validated ancient systems are a basis for current use to influence the main action for a spiritual and remedy with the physical body with what we call the mineral kingdom. Let's explore a briefly. I lost my thought. I was over on the gems.
Well, say if you
a validated pattern.
Say you're doing a show, and a customer comes up to you. I'm interested in a stone, but I'm not quite sure which one what's one for me?
Sometimes they can actually feel the vibration, or they'll read it and say, you know what? That's exactly what has been bothering me.
Okay, so that's what, so you always have the description of what it's for.
Yeah.
And then you can feel it. Okay.
And then I have the actual shortened version on another paper of the exact detailed Hildegard one. So if they really want to go into the Hildegard medicine, I kind of keep it on a lighter basis when I sell and do that. But when I do the therapy or sessions, whatever you want to call it, we actually go into the Hildegard system.
Okay,
because that's what I'm very familiar with.
More into depth. I know what you're saying. That's like for myself, I do just a basic consult. But in today's world, on my side, they're all stressed out today. They're very toxic. They're too acidic. So where do we go? But
that's it.
What Dr. Jensen said, the first thing you see when I look in the iridology is where we go.
Exactly.
So basically, whenever we're too acidic, that's the first thing I can see. I mean, it's really sad. Whenever I'm at a checkout store, I want to just say, you're so acidic.
You can tell, even by looking.
Yeah, I can tell right now by looking in their eyes. And, I have to be very careful on who I say that to. But, it's a simple solution, though. That's where the chlorophyll comes in. Because it's going to go in and balance the pH. It's going to clean you up. And then you can add stones as well to help your immune system. Or maybe, what are some conditions that you find that you normally work with? What's the average?
The basic is the acidic system, and this is why her blue chalcedony was so important for the anger.
Yes,
anger,
acid.
And in all the Eastern medical systems is related to the liver. You can actually shut down your liver through anger.
Yes.
Literally. So the more we temper that, the better the acidic and bile is. In her book where I mentioned her treatise on cause and cure, that was her big medical book.
Okay,
nice. The black bile, which is one of the humors, was one of her big things to get rid of. So I agree. I love that stuff. I feel I'm gulping some down.
Well, you can do it, with the chlorophyll as well, but it's nice to add the stone, especially if you look back in genetics into your family on what your health issue could be. Genetics is so important. Cardiac, cancer, maybe dementia, things of that sort. And if you know they're in your family, you want to go in and protect you because that can be passed on as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely it is. Okay, I'm going to get into the biocrystalline system. That's okay, Janet. Okay, the biocrystalline system. Our blood also holds energy patterns, as this has been recently discovered by scientists and is known as the biocrystalline system. This delicate system was also found within the pineal gland and actually resembled a tiny structure as in crystal formations. Without powerful life-giving energy, our blood would be an inert fluid with the property of what you look outside, you see stagnant still water. That's all it would be without all of our life-giving energy. The breath is the most important, which is the air element, holds the life force as well as feeding the physical body nourishment, as does the energy from minerals, herbs, and food. Air is what gives a certain quality to these life-giving nourishments as well as what forms them. Replenishing vital energy patterns in vibrational fields first is what makes gems and crystal healings the highest rate for the subtle physical anatomy. Not only do they absorb, transform, transmit, and store energy, but saturate the vibrational fields according to the precise solar and lunar structure in which they were formed. This reasons why such a matrix for DNA, photons, and elements cannot be duplicated in a lab or in the form of a pharmacy pill to heal the way nature was designed.
That's right, absolutely.
So how vibrational remedies work. A specific path through the physical and subtle bodies assimilates the ingested vibration and settles midway between the circulatory system and the nervous system. An electromagnetic current creates a polarity for these two systems. Life force works through the blood and consciousness works through the brain and nervous system, while both systems contain a quartz crystalline property and electromagnetic currents. The blood cells contain more quartz crystalline properties, while the nervous system contains more electromagnetic current. The properties of life force and consciousness enter and stimulate the physical body via a path. And I'm going to condense the path of life real short here. So, Hildegard's correlation of the spine, vices, virtues, and gemstones can be understood through the path of life. The crystalline properties within the aura around us stabilize the fields of energy. To me, this field of energy with crystalline structures was possibly created with the great fall of Lucifer, when God cast all the stones from him into the earth through the delicate balance within the realm between heaven and earth. It only leaves one's imagination to see tiny structures intertwining with all energy patterns into a path of life until they reach the earth. This field is a matrix of energy beyond a capacity of biological, yet fits in the laws of natural mechanics and physics. The path is determined by an individual's constitution corresponding with the physical body. The life force enters the various subtle bodies and it returns back into the physical body. Within the physical body, it returns to a cellular level through different portals about midway between the circulatory and nervous system. There are three main portals: the etheric body and fluidum, energy channels, and the skin. The skin has silica or crystalline properties. However, the hair is only a carrier of the life force, not an actual portal. An example is the pineal gland is in direct association with the first part of our spinal cord, or as Hildegard stated in regard to the East Man, as I referred to in the beginning. That would gravitate towards one portal. You have the gemstone on the skin, yet allow for others. Vibrational remedies with the crystalline properties gravitates to the skin since the stone is touching the skin. The entire process is instantaneous, yet can take a while to experience the result. Likewise, when one is punched in the face, it may take days to completely feel the swelling and soreness. An example is the use of the golden topaz here. Its correlation is with the East Man. So according to Hildegard, real quick, that is the Atlas, C1. The crystal healing would be the golden topaz, which is our audio vision. The vice would be the love of material things. The heavenly virtue is heavenly love. In Hildegard's vision, a few of the main causes and what can cause things and can help remedy through the stone: arthritis, rheumatic fever, myalgia, and neuritis.
And there's a lot of pain today.
And the neuralgias, I mean, you can get into a lot of things with that, with the C1. Crystal bioenergy establishes a natural biocrystalline energy and can remove pain and suffering from nerves, muscles, bones as it balances and cleanses the body and its organs. Likewise, gemstones collect energy and focus energy to regenerate and empower the autonomic nervous system. The brain has been observed with these stones in the EEG, which recorded the influence of many findings, including when they did it, the EEG with Hildegard's golden topaz prayer and the crystal held over the heart. As her crystal therapies are an effective energetic remedy to bring the body and soul to equilibrium. Now proven scientifically, the ancient healing system such as Hildegard's Mineralogy provides a pattern for natural healing. Two other very powerful stones I brought were the amethyst and her blue chalcedony. The amethyst was very powerful protection from negative forces, and as we discussed a little bit, the blue chalcedony for the anger, and to help, it does help control the bile in the body to a certain point. So that was very interesting to me.
Now, do you find that you should carry those stones in your pocket, necklace, and on you at all times?
Yeah, anywhere, especially when you go to different places, or if something is going to upset you. if I have a bad feeling about something, I put certain stones on and then take off for the day.
Right, right. Now, do you just have the stones, or like I wear a couple bracelets with the stones?
The bracelets, all of them are perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
And you could even have like bracelets made
right
according to the Hildegard or the Ayurvedic system or the traditional Chinese that I know their stone systems too. So.
That's really cool. I like that idea that you can personalize it. That's a great Christmas gift for somebody that has everything.
It is.
And just to help you cope in the world today, because how do I put it? I'm seeing so much stress with the stress rings in the eyes because we don't know what's going to happen, and we have to have faith.
That's true, Janet.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, we'll move into today's science unfolds the ancient knowledge and appreciation of the role of the majestic treasures stored in the mineral kingdom. And this not only corresponds to modern science in that it correlates to the spine, but it also correlates to the cardinal directions of north, south, east, and west, and the importance of the heavenly cosmos, which is now known and talked about as the field. Today's science also tells us there is a field containing the mind of God, or the divine matrix. There's also a book titled The Divine Matrix, which is by my favorite author, and I knew him for years ago, Greg Braden. This was also known to Hildegard in her visions that underlies the physical reality that we experience feeling within the heart. Every conscious choice creates a feeling of what we choose in life, and these feelings create patterns in this magnetic and electric field known as the field. I also believe this is why the field could also be the realm between heaven and earth, and it's so powerful to heal as with these gemstones. These all connect with a type of quantum essence in the field, and this allows for a pattern to form in our hearts to manifest in the physical world. So that what that means is we actually become what we choose in our hearts. Another quote I really love and is from St. Thomas Aquinas: "The things we love tell us what we are." That's a powerful statement.
That's very powerful.
So think about that for a moment, what we love, and it's stored in our heart. Think about the only stone in prayer and meditation in all of history that was given through Hildegard's visions help heal the heart-brain connection. We hold this connection to communicate instantaneously to the field. Therefore, another important aspect that we need to our biology to connect to the field is our divinity. And this is a very important part of our information. This is why the synthetics are they don't connect with the field.
Right.
So you know, see how all that ties in? That's why I said, oh, we're going to be good together on this show,
yeah,
Janet.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, how do I relate it? I can relate it into my field. There's times you need medicine.
Yes, there is.
There are times.
Yes.
But I feel as though most medical doctors today don't ask about your lifestyle, your diet, things of that sort, and that all accumulates towards your feelings today.
It sure does.
Absolutely.
It sure does. So since in short, the less synthetics we use in our body, the better the connection.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the more synthetics used lessens our ability for this connection. It's as if a delicate veil has been put over the connection between us and the field. When this veil is thickened, and just an example by using synthetics, this connection can atrophy and we can get lost, so to speak, in the physical world, and this is known as disease and illnesses. In 1991, scientists discovered there's approximately 40,000 cells that configure in the human heart called sensory neurites. These sensory neurites are specialized nerve fibers, and they're a part of the heart's intrinsic nervous system, sending signals from the heart via the vagus nerve. These brain-like cells think independently from the cranial brain. They feel, they remember, and it's registered in the heart and the brain. An example is trauma. It can still be registered in both places. So in order to actually heal the brain, the heart needs to heal first that trauma, because the mind cannot do it by itself. And I'm just going to interject here. I do have a PhD in clinical hypnotherapy and hypnosis and spiritual counseling. So this, when I entered into all of this, was just mind-blowing 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
It just was. Most of our scripts and the ones I learned and I do, with clients, it targeted the heart first. And I used to wonder why. That was 25 years ago. And then 22 years ago, it just all clicked when I learned this. So it was like, wow.
That's so interesting, because when I studied with Dr. Jensen, the first thing he taught us, look in the left eye at 3 o'clock. It's your heart. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the iridology is different timings from different things, but that all coincides.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It does. 3 o'clock basically is our liver time in the Eastern medicines, but that's the peak from 12 noon to 3 when the heart will reveal. And it's all real, Janet. It's all real.
It's interesting. I'm just relating what I know and then what you're sharing with us as well, because this is all new to me as far as very, very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be finishing up here in a minute.
Okay, yeah, because we have about 4 more minutes. Okay.
Oh, let me scoot.
Okay.
The heart has a separate neural network from the neural network within the brain. It thinks, it feels, it remembers independently. Equal important, both of these separate neural networks can be harmonized to become a single system so powerful it transforms the physical world. The 3 steps to that is, and I learned these from Greg Braden, you bring your awareness by right hand over the heart, left hand over the navel, and you will breathe in through your nose to the count of 4, hold it for 4, and then release more than 4. So you'll, and when you do that 4 times, I use the example, feel in the emotion of the heart gratitude. It's the easiest one to feel. Feel grateful for what you have or what you just received. As a result, the heart begins to send the electrical signals to the brain and they begin to work together. The consciousness connects and healing is easier. These simple steps from modern science are very similar, and they seem to match the use of Hildegard's golden topaz prayer to foster the healings in the meditation in gratitude or within her golden tent meditation. In addition, there's mirror neurons in the neocortex of the brain. And the neocortex of the brain, that's the part of the human brain's cerebral cortex where the higher cognitive functioning originates with the neural computations of perception or episodic memory or memories of episodes. There's 4 main lobes with the specific functions, and the neocortex makes up almost half of a volume of our brain. So it's characterized by a cytoarchitecture of input and output connectivity with a microcircuitry, and that's what connects with everything I just prior talked about. So this neuron cannot differentiate between having an experience or watching an experience. So mirror neurons are also a part of Hildegard's description of gemstones healings to the input and output of our brain-heart connection, and it cannot be separated. So a real quick example how the neurons cannot differentiate anything is you watch a movie, you become intense, or a football game, you become intense. It's as if the neurons cannot separate, as if you're the football player or you're watching it. Mm-hmm. And another really cool one is if you're watching someone doing a healing session, the neurons cannot separate that. It's as if the neurons are there getting the healing. Nice. So when you talked about a doctor and it's quick and get a pill, so if they diagnose you with something and you're like, the neurons can't separate. If you're sitting in the room and I'm diagnosed with it, your neurons can't separate that either at that point. So you take in that part of that trauma. You see how all that connects?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have 1 minute left.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it was just talking about that little experience. So I'm going to put my contact real quick.
Okay.
And that's me.
Now, with the holiday season, if they have a question, do you do mail orders by way without them not coming in? Can you talk over the phone?
Basically, I have the studio right here where they can make an appointment with me or with Janet. I do have my website. I have an email. I just ask that they don't call my house phone. And, I have the times up here. So, Janet's like from noon to 7 during the week, too.
Good.
That gives you, and we offer a lot of therapies there. I do a gem and crystal infrared bed there. We
Nice,
could do
nice,
that.
nice,
So
yeah.
there's just a lot. So if,
Because I have the biomat. Are you familiar
yes,
with
the
that?
biomat.
Yeah, I have that on my bed. The crystals in it.
I have a couple different ones. I have a shorter one, and
Okay, yeah, mine's too. It's for a chair because the one for the bed was $1,700. I said,
yes,
sorry.
I got 2 of those for the
Okay,
therapy.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, as long as we got the contacts and all of that,
Good, perfect.
that's pretty much that. So,
Okay, because thank you so much for taking the time to be here and sharing the information, because I really believe in the crystals, the stones. It's just trying to find
they
what's
do.
for you. And that's why I had Karen here to share with you what she has to offer.
Yeah.
Because this is your passion.
it is.
I understand because I have my passion, but we work together. So, health is wealth, and you're your own CEO. If you have any questions, reach out to Karen. And if you can't get a hold of her, get a hold of me, and I'll give you the information as well. So enjoy the holidays. Be grateful for your many blessings, and may we all be blessed with new beginnings with a new year in January as well.
I also have produced 4 CDs on Chinese, Ayurvedic, and Hildegard's medicine.
Good, good.
And I forgot to bring them up here, but I do have a copy for you, Janet, as thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Good. All right. God bless. Be well. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.